Hello and welcome to another episode of the Contractor Grow Show. My name is Mark Lamberth. I'm your host. And today I'm speaking with Boaz Hillel at Neptune Construction and Remodeling in North Hollywood and the greater Los Angeles area. Boaz, thank you so much for being with us today.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, man. So we've taken a look at what you guys are up to. Looks like an amazing business. I mean, you guys are building kind of dream homes, making dream homes a reality, and embracing green building practices, kind of in the Los Angeles area. Maybe you could just start with the kind of a history of the business, how you guys kind of got started, and where you're at today.
I'll start with March 2026 is our 18-year anniversary here at Neptune. We're very excited about it. We started our business in March 2007. After a few years of working for other home improvement companies, I decided that their business model doesn't fit my character, and I have to go into construction with one company and build it up with a good reputation, with a solid reputation, with solid projects that are getting completed and inspected, and basically fixing LA. About 10 years ago, we started shifting into retrofit, and we do a lot of soft story retrofit. It's a safety ordinance that came from City of Los Angeles for all the buildings that were built before 1978 to the standards of the time. They were built on stilts and sometimes created a situation where a second story is built over a parking lot, creating what we call a soft story. So you can see over here, we are FEMA-certified soft story retrofitters and FEMA-certified soft story brace and bolt retrofitters, and help the safety of the buildings in Los Angeles. About 48,000 buildings were flagged.
Wow, amazing. So you guys have found a niche in this soft story retrofit space. I mean, what percentage of the work that you guys do is that soft story retrofit?
Today, it's about 60% of our work where we rehab structure or just need the upgrade and the update per the city ordinance. We come in, we'll do a design engineer, submit it to the city, get the plans approved, and then we go on to construction. There's another step in the way called the tenant habitability program, which is conducted by the LA Housing Department. And it comes to retrieve about 50% of the cost of the project to the owners on a course of 10 years, where they raise the rents to the tenants according to the improvement that were made.
Amazing. And I noticed that you guys have you use a lot of kind of 3D design software to kind of be able to do virtual walkthroughs of spaces. Clients can virtually walk through their space. We don't see a whole lot of companies doing that. I mean, how has that kind of benefited your customers and being able to create kind of a view of what that project's going to look like before you guys get started?
The biggest challenge that clients have with remodeling is making decisions. Mm-hmm. The decision between red and green is not an easy one. Uh-huh. And we try to guide our clients in the pre-production for what they want. We want to know exactly what they want to see. One tool that we use is a 3D design, which with the innovations of the 21st century is just so available and common. Anything from Google Design to Chief Architect to AutoCAD that can produce a 3D of a house, how it looks when we finished before we even got there. It's pretty remarkable and helps our work tremendously from past years before we had technology and internet back in the Thomas Guide days. It was very hard to understand what's in the client's mind because it's in their mind. It's their dream. I'm not dreaming their dream. I'm a contractor who's trying to put 2x4s and drywall and stucco together. So it would solve so many issues of communication between clients and contractors that we had to jump on it and use it right away. It's not everything, because yes, there are changes still, but we try to minimize the decision making during the work. We want all the decision making to happen before the work is done.
Hmm. Amazing. So, I mean, you had talked about that working with some other contractors, back originally, that those builders, they didn't fit basically your values. What does that mean? I mean, how have you taken your values and, put them into Neptune and kind of, I don't know, codified that, or, and we're talking with clients about it. I mean, what was that difference in values, and how have you moved ahead by representing your values in the company you own today?
Your good name will go with you generations forward. Good oil will stay with you while you're alive. So it was very important for me to follow that principle with Neptune. And that's why it's our 18-year anniversary today, with a company has been 5-star all around in Yelp, in Angie's List, and the Better Business Bureau. We actually had our clients, and at the end of it, in the last page of this pamphlet, we always put a list of current clients with phone numbers and emails and what we've done for them, so that our clients really can call our previous clients and ask how we do our business. This package that we send all our clients also includes our insurance, our license, our liability insurance, workers' compensation, our bond, and our EPA certificate, our National Association certificate, our Lutron certificate, and our FEMA certificate. So we got a lot of certificates in California over here.
Wow. Incredible. And that's a printed, actually like a hard printed kind of brochure, template that you send to folks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We send it hard printed or in a PDF. With my background, it's a little hard to see it.
Yeah, sure.
There you go.
Yeah, great. Amazing. So Boaz, I love that. I mean, I really love that. We talk with contractors a lot about their kind of their marketing and their sales process and how they're able to represent their values. And I think, guys, if you're listening to this, I want to really just stop and rewind. Okay, Boaz he's actually sending out an actual printed document, okay, that shows their projects that they've done. But importantly, it also shows all of the stuff that clients are thinking and wondering about your business, okay, about, is this guy licensed? How can I know that he's like the real deal? And so they have, actually they've got, clients' phone numbers that you can call. I mean, that's absolutely huge. And that goes far beyond. I mean, I really rarely see that level of putting forward the kind of like bridging the trust gap by saying, look, I mean, these are folks, of course they've done amazing work, because for someone to give you their phone number, a client to give you their phone number and say, yeah, you can have new prospects call me. I mean, that's just shows like so much goodwill and so much trust in the marketplace. That's incredible, Boaz. How did you come to design and put that together? I mean, did someone else kind of teach you about this? Is it something that over the 18 years you've been working, you just knew that this needed to happen?
I think trust is the biggest word in business. You just need their word. Their word is as good as it's better than a signature. Trying to get to that with clients that you haven't met or meeting for the first time is very, very hard. They call us out of the blue, or they get us from a referral. A lot of our work these days are from referrals, people telling other people about us. But when we do advertising and people call our toll-free number at the office and want to book a free estimate, they don't know who we are, really. They researched us online, but that can go many ways. So coming to the client's home, speaking with them, showing them who I am, what my past is, bringing them my resume, and making sure that all their questions are answered, basically. It's really, really important for the livelihood of the business. It's really important I have a lot of things going on. Peace of mind is really important to me. And it's achieved through trust and through making sure that your clients, know who you are and you know who your clients are, and that you choose to work with each other to bridge the gap of trust.
Wow. Wow. Incredible. That is amazing. So again, guys, I mean, I don't want to, I don't want to overemphasize this, but it's so important. I talk with a lot of contractors and I ask about the sales process. What Boaz is talking about here is absolute gold. And I mean, not to just talk about this in terms of sales and prospecting and whatnot, but I just want to say that having a handout of some kind where you can list everything that a client is concerned about. And as Boaz has said here, I mean, it's very hard to build trust online. In some ways, it used to be easier than it is today, right? Even though you can build kind of a nicer website and you've got different social channels, it's easy to game that stuff. And we all know it. We've all gotten burned online. And so Boaz is showing up in person. He is bringing, his credentials, and that is just absolute gold for a prospect that doesn't know you, or even a referral to show up with that type of material. That is incredible. Fantastic, Boaz. Well, I mean, I've seen that you guys are just highly rated through Angie's List. I mean, people say you guys, they just like glowing reviews about you guys, say that you're amazing, and just does incredible work in the marketplace. Can I ask you, saying you're wonderful and super, in regards to running a project? And so, I mean, you're on site, you're there managing this project, taking care of your clients, but I mean, you have subs and you have folks that work on your team. Any tips about how to run a project site well, so that kind of those values of trust and ultimately things that are going to, ways that people are going to rate you really well? Are there any kind of tips that you have on how to convey that high work ethic on the job site and how to manage the project well, so that you support the way that you're coming across to clients?
When we deal with buildings, the owner usually doesn't live in the building. So in a way, we are his representatives in the eyes of the tenants. And sometimes we deal with buildings that have 60, 80, 100 tenants. They have parking, and we work in the parking area. We disturb their parking structure, and they can't park there. And sometimes it's in Hollywood or in Santa Monica, in places where parking months that were there during the work went as far as looking for a sister lot next to a building that they could park over there for the next 4 or 5 months. I've went and filled trenches with the trench plates so they can drive over our grade beams and get with the project, but still affected from it is really, really important in the first place. These are the people that don't have any stake in the game, so to speak, but still are very, very much, it imposes on them. It's hard to, they wake up in the morning for work, they need their car, they need their access, and we're all of a sudden there from 7:30 banging and chipping away. So this is one thing that's really, really important, is trenches. Make sure you don't leave them open overnight. And yes, every day I visit all our projects. That's why we don't take too many projects. We take maybe 5 to 7 projects at a time. These are projects of $500,000 to $1 million. We can't supervise well enough if I can't clone myself. But we have solid people, solid subcontractors that have stayed with us for the last 15 to 18 years. And they're on site, and we get pictures, and we communicate all day, all month during the project to make sure that everything is done right. And then we have deputy inspections, engineer observations. So we're there to present that to the inspectors and the different engineers. And I coordinate between the city and engineers to the client with whatever is in the middle, if it's a tenant or a renter, or, I would love to work on vacant homes. It also creates this strange situation where you have to use your microwave in the bathroom for
Right.
a few months.
Uh-huh.
So these are things that we try to help our clients with. If we can build them a temporary outdoor kitchen that they can use, or a nice little shed that they can have breakfast and dinner.
Fantastic. I love it. Well, Boaz, what a great story, man. And I can just really feel the values coming through, our conversation here. If you're listening, a couple little cutouts here and glitches. We're gonna work on those, but this is incredibly valuable. What Boaz is talking about of conveying his values through the company. Owners, biggest challenge is making a decision, and to be able to guide clients in pre-production with 3D design, whether that be AutoCAD, Google Design, leaning on some of the tech these days, so someone can really make a decision about what they're looking for, and then really being on site and accommodating and taking care of the tenants, the owners of the building or the tenants working on a project that has 60 to 80 tenants in the building, and to really just pay attention to what their needs are, and to not leave open trenches and things, and to leave a mess, because these people are going about their lives in a busy area like Hollywood. They don't have other parking options. And so amazing story, Boaz. Fantastic. If folks are in the North Hollywood area or the greater Los Angeles area, and they're looking for an amazing, heartfelt contractor to work with, and are looking for a great company to talk with, what are a couple of good ways to get in touch with you guys?
Well, you can always call our office at 866-979-5252. And our Instagram, Neptune_construction, has a lot of our projects, and you can always DM us on Facebook or LinkedIn. We are all over the place. We try to make it easy to find us.
Fantastic. And if you are also trying to find these guys online, you call their number 866-979-5252, or Neptune_construction at Instagram. And their website as well is buildneptune.com, just like it sounds.
Buildneptune.com.
Yeah, perfect. Well, fantastic, Boaz. Thank you so much for being on the show today and for sharing your just valuable, heartfelt knowledge. We would love to have you back on the show at some point in the future and hear how things are going here over the next year or two. So thank you so much for your time.
Would love that. You too. Enjoy the day.